The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. They are crying on camera, not because of pain, but because of truth. For the first time in their lives, many black Americans are seeing Africa, the real Africa, the real Africa, and is breaking something open inside of them. When at your speed walked through African streets, laughed with the people, showed the cities the joy, the pride, and the life. A lie that had lasted generations collapsed in real time. A lie that had lasted generations collapsed in real time. These tears are not random, they are tears of grief for a home they were taught to forget. Tears for an identity distorted by centuries of propaganda. Tears for an identity distorted by centuries of propaganda. Tears for the realization that Africa was never poor in spirit, never backwards, never hopeless. It was hidden from them on purpose. What we are witnessing online is not just a reaction to a streamer, it is a spiritual reunion. It is a spiritual reunion. A people connecting with a mother they were told to be ashamed of. This is what they told us. And today we are all ashamed of who we are. We are all ashamed of becoming who we are and accepting who we are. This is not an entertainment. This is healing. This is memory returning. This is the moment where the story breaks and the truth finally speaks.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. Is to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him, and I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
Africa have building. Africa have cows. Africa is not country. Africa is continent. All my life, we told me Africa is wrong. Africa is savage. But when I see the life of I show speed, I see Africa is great. Africa have beautiful woman, a beautiful boy. Africa have jeans, Africa have shorts, Africa have eat, Africa have chicken, Africa have chicken. All my life, we say me, Africa is broke, Africa is savage.
Why am I seeing grown-ass people crying on my For You page because they've just learned that Africa has buildings? Are you serious? I'm so sorry, but if you thought that Africa was all mud huts and lions in the year 2026, that is willful ignorance on your part, and I cannot defend you, sorry. Speed is doing like a tour of Africa or something like that, and the amount of people I've seen on my For You page shocked that Africa is a civilized continent. Continent, by the way, not country. Africa is a continent with 54 countries. It's the most genetically diverse continent in the entire world. And you thought not one of those 54 countries had skyscrapers. They didn't have cars. They were living in mud huts in all 54 of those countries. It's 2026 and you thought that? And you're crying? I understand. The West is a propaganda machine. They have fed us so many lies about Africa. We've all seen the adverts of the malnourished kids covered in flies and the women carrying water back to their villages. And yes, that is a reality for some Africans. But we've had the internet for 30 years now, and you never Googled it. You never thought to do your own research, not once. Okay. I see people from Africa all the time on this app trying to educate people that Africa is not all people living in mud huts in villages. They have cities, they have skyscrapers, they have cars, they have roads, they have everything. But people just aren't taking to it. How are you crying? How are you crying because you're finding out through Speed that Africa has buildings? Are you serious? If you made it to 2026 thinking that the entirety of Africa is still living in the Stone Age, that's not just because you fell for propaganda, it's because you didn't care enough to do your own research. Sorry.
Bro, this world is crazy, bro. Are you telling me I show Speed? Out of all people, I show Speed is the reason why y'all finally realize Africa is not that bad, bro. Y'all finally realize Africa is not as bad as the world trying to make it seem, bro. Feel me? Because y'all gotta say, like, this propaganda of Africa is dirty and this and that, and they only have huts and villages and stuff. Nah, bro, you gonna see beautiful shit out there too. You gonna see cities out there too. Go to downtown Accra, Ghana right now, bro. You gonna think you in 34th Street or some shit. Go to downtown Lagos, Nigeria right now. You gonna think you in Manhattan somewhere nice, bro. Like, bro, like, no way I Show Speed is the reason how, and I'm not even hating on him, I'm just speaking facts. No way that he's the reason how y'all finally start to realize Africa's not as bad as it seems, but shit.
We are not what they describe us. They told the world we are living on trees. The way they created the story is heartbreaking, to the point that even we, the ones in the continent, still find it so difficult to accept who we are. So we go to any lengths just trying to be other people, trying to live the life of other people. Africa is not backwards. Africa is the most beautiful place. We are the best in the world, and black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. We need to accept who we are. The way Africa is painted to you, my brothers and sisters in the diaspora, is just for them to keep you under control. Not for you to reunite with the mother that gave birth to you. And that is why you hear some of you say, they don't ever want to be called Africans. They're African Americans. But no matter what you do, the Africa will always be attacked to you. This is where they took you out. Some of you claim you are the Israelites. You were there for centuries. Just simply because of the narrative they created about Africa, you do not want to associate yourself with Africa. But no matter what, history will always show you where you come from. Africa is the best place you can ever be. This is where they kept in the book that when you believe in whatever and you die, you walk on gold. But in reality, the only place you can ever walk on gold is Africa. We are not poor. We are not poor. It is the systematic things that they kept in place that is keeping Africa where it is, because they do everything possible to make sure they continue to have access to the resources. America is everything it is because of the resources they are getting from Africa. Why do you think they are after Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso? The leaders that we have there, because they kicked them out. They took control over the resources, and this is what they do to Africa. Any leader that will rise up to reclaim anything in Africa, this is what they do to the leader. Like we are seeing happening in Venezuela in the name of trying to save the people in Venezuela. That is the story they narrate to the African, and the African will always believe it. Africa is beautiful with loving people, and this is the only continent that you will understand what humanity is all about. This is where you will be loved as an African, and this is the only home you can ever be accepted as an African. This is where you can ever live happily in this world. We are the best, and that is what we should know. Africa is not poor. We are not poor. Forget about the narratives, the propaganda that they gave to you all these years. Thanks to the internet, social media, we are able to reconnect. It is time for you and I to know where we come from and to accept who we are, because there is none that is better than you, the African. It is our unity that will defeat them. They did all these things because they don't want you to ever live with the talents you have, because their economy survives on your hard labor. We, the Africans, built what they have, and we are the ones still building it. So in order for them to keep you, they need to create a narrative. And this is the narrative you have been living with for all these years. But the time has come for you to come back home. No matter how Africa is described to you, no matter how poor they claim we are, this is your mother. This is where you are from, and you need to accept who you are, not because of the riches you know you have, but because you are proud of who you are, but because you believe in yourself and you accept who you are. Africa, whether we are living on trees, we are poor, we have nothing, this is our home. This is our home. And you must start accepting your home, no matter how it is, no matter how others describe it. Be proud to be here. Be proud to be an African. Be proud to be somebody that is in the black skin. Everything of ours is original. We are the only people that you can never have another photocopy of us. So you should be proud of that and know that Africa is everything that you ever want. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.